Hey everyone. This live might get a little dark because I'm speaking about my father and what it was like watching him live polygamy growing up. And it's hard to talk about him without some abuse coming up. So skip this one if you need to. All right. So I guess the first thing, what should I talk about first? Hey, we got some people that joined. Shay and Irina. Hey guys. It's good to see you guys. So, I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail, but the thumbnail is of my dad in China making business deals, pretty much using all of his children's money to do it. Hi, when did this start? Just barely. I just barely got here. So you're just on time. The good Karen, good to see you. All right, so I guess I'll just tell you, it's story time live with Val, so I'll tell you a story. Hey, Lisa. Let's see. So these aren't going to be great stories. I'm realizing they're kind of rough. But typically I don't talk about him, not because it's hard for me. It's more because I'm superstitious. Like for superstitious reasons, I do not like to speak about him because everyone in the order prays to not let the people that are trying to hurt Paul and Daniel, like basically God would stop them, like maybe a car crash or some shit. And I'm like, no, leave me alone. I don't want to die. But I know that sounds nuts, but I'm a little pagan and I believe spells and prayers are about the same thing. Let's see. Probably shouldn't say what I want to say about your father. I know. Well, me too, ish. Actually, that's what I do want to tell you guys. I'm actually proud of myself in how far I've come in the healing process of it. Because when it comes to my father, I don't wish him harm. I don't wish them well. I really don't wish anything on him. I'm pretty indifferent to whatever happens to him. I actually ran into him right before I got married, actually. I'll have to message you my opinion on him. Yeah, please do. Let's see. I wish him a day. A day? What's that? Just like wake up. I don't know what I wish for him. You absolutely should be proud of your healing. Thank you, Lisa. Sorry, I just detect Amanda something. Let's see if do you need me to pee? No, it's fine. No, you're good. Sorry, I was texting Amanda. I should just put that down. Okay. Let's see. So I'll just tell you the last time I saw him and how that was for me, because I hadn't seen him for like 9 years at the time, something like that. It's similar to wishing someone a day they deserve, but less fucks. Like, okay, like less fucks given, I guess. Depends. I've never met your father. I don't like because of the way he treats his kids. Oh yeah, he doesn't. He's a really rough guy when it comes to that. Excited for this. Did Daniel have a good, close relationship with his father? Actually, before I get into the meeting him last time story, I'll tell you about a story my grandma told me. So, because I know he didn't have like the best relationship with his dad either. It was more like he did whatever his dad said. The story goes like when Daniel was a toddler, like maybe 2, then his dad would just be like, "Okay, sleep," and then the kid he just fall asleep, or at least pretend to fall asleep. But he had like no freedom. He did what his dad said, and that just, I guess, that was my grandma's excuse for having compassion for this person. And I don't know. The reason for someone's behavior is not an excuse for their bad behavior. Maybe just gives you a little bit of understanding of why they're doing it. How many of your siblings are out? I know Chanel and Colleen are out. So pretty much all of them, but 2. Actually, yeah, all of them, but the twins. The twins are the only ones that stayed in the order. It is a cool plant. Oh, I love this plant. Yeah. It's really cute. Amanda, I love you. It's good to see you. Sorry. All right. So the last time I ran into Daniel, it was actually Vianne's graduation, and she's my little sister. She said that I could use her name in this story. So he had just, him and Chanel had just like kind of, because Chanel was at the graduation too, and she was keeping Vianne away from him because Daniel was there to bring a marriage option for Vianne, which is funny. Like, I don't know what he thinks he's doing, just bringing this other guy to be like, hey, this is your possible family or whatever. But anyways, so Chanel was getting in a fight with him, or like trying to keep Vianne away from him so that she's not like solo with Daniel. And so there's a little bit of drama over there. I'm actually focused on the two twins that are still in the order because I didn't see them for years either. And I was just like, just trying to talk to them like normal conversation. And I run up to the one and I'm like, this is my husband, or gonna be husband. We're gonna get married in like a week or whatever. And Daniel happens to walk over as I'm talking to my sister, and she's being puppy guarded real hard by her husband. Like, they won't let me talk to her. Like, they think I'm gonna like brainwash her into leaving the cult. And I really don't care what she does. Like, she could do whatever she wants, but I still love her, and I was really excited to like talk to her because I hadn't seen her for like 9 years. Anyways, so Daniel comes over and he starts talking, and he's like, how's it going? And I'm like, he's like, how's life? And I'm just like, oh, you know, living in sin. And then I just like go back to talking to my sister, and he overhears that I'm gonna get married, and he's like, when's the wedding? And like trying to like weasel his way into being invited. And I'm like, it's just gonna be a courthouse wedding. And he's like, I'm really glad that we don't have drama, you and I, like the way me and Chanel just had drama 2 seconds ago or whatever. And I was just like, I looked at him in the eye and I was like, I don't have needless drama with someone unless they're worth the drama. And then I pretty much didn't talk to him after that. So, yeah. So I was kind of proud of myself for not like being overly triggered. I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to talk to him, but I think I did pretty good. Man, I got a lot of stories for this one. This live could be way too long. Let's see. I'm going to read your comments before I get into the next thing. How many of your siblings are out? Yep, like 10. 10 of them are out because there's 12 of us. Despite you're married, Val, if you have to choose between marrying a woman or your father, that's a funny joke, but I'll let's go forward with it. Marry a woman or your father? I would marry a woman. I'd marry a cat before I'd marry your father. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. I would take him out of the equation, that's for sure. He's not, there's no room in my life for him to be in a day-to-day. So let's see. I always felt that way. My dad talked about the relationship with his dad was so sad when he talked about his dad. Like, he loved him and had so much respect. I was always like, why? Oh yeah, that's Amanda saying about her like dad's dad, which is we have the same grandpa. So yeah, we're talking about grandpa's raising his kids. Oh my gosh. And I just want to stay to the order dads if they're watching. They're probably not, but if they're watching, don't let your ego get in the way of your child. Remember, you're that child's biggest advocate. Like, don't hurt this child. All right, so let's see. What was his reaction when you told him, held him off? I didn't really tell him off. I just was like, oh, I just smiled and was like, I don't have any needless drama with someone that isn't worth the drama. And then just ignored him after that. He did get kind of like right after that, him and my mom kind of got into it a little bit. He was trying to make her feel bad about herself, and she had just left, so she was still, everything was still fresh for her. So he got in her head a little bit. Let's see. Oh, hey, Mary. Let's see. That's a perfect answer. Amanda, sounds like both of your fathers just continued the cycle of fear. Oh yeah, that's actually how they do. Like Daniel raises his kids. Like first you establish fear, and then after you establish fear, you what is it? With fear comes respect, and then with respect comes love. So that's how he does his whole. That's his parenting model. So good luck with that. What's your mother's opinion of your father? Oh, this is going to be a long life, and her opinion is going to be longer than this life. she was treated really bad that whole marriage. I don't know how she did it. For people who feel shitty is not being around them. Yes. How can anyone answer that other than our mother? Right. I don't know. But all right, so I'll tell you another story. So when I first left, I really wasn't focused on the healing side of things. I was just focused on survival. And then the uncle that took me in, I was still really upset about Daniel and everything. So I was kind of venting to him a little bit, and he helped me realize that this person's not worth your energy, and they're not even in your life anymore. And blaming him for my issues wasn't going to make my life any better, but getting him out of my life did make it better. So today, let's see. I'm just happy to be free of that person and not have him in my day-to-day. When I went, so I got another story. It's a little bit off topic, but when I went to Job Corps, I met this guy from the Mexican mafia. And don't let that, like, this is a little off topic, I know, but the Mexican mafia is actually not from Mexico. It's it's a criminal society that's in like California or like all over the US. But we had a lot of similarities, like the way their leaders, I mean, they got way worse things. People are like being killed and stuff. But it was interesting how the leaders keep their hands clean so they never get caught. And that's what's crazy about Daniel, especially with this Washakie renewable energy deal. I don't understand how he didn't get in prison. Somehow everyone else did everything he told them to do, so they went to prison instead when you know he was involved. Oh well. Shay says, oh well, love a good tangent. Yeah, this might be a tangent. Respect and fear, absolutely. 100% completely different. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, that reminds me. So the way they brainwashed me, you get blessings in the order, right? And you get like a name blessing, a baptism blessing, and like these people, they get like the numbered men have the priesthood, and this priesthood is like they're speaking with God's power, so they can basically bless you or curse you with the power of God. But anyways, most of my blessings, my name blessing, my baptism blessing, I remember it being 45 minutes long. And all it really said was, if you listen to your father, your life will be great. So I always tried to have a relationship with him, and it just made my life really bad because he was not a good dude. When I was, I remember he pulled me out of school at 14 to get a full-time job to help support the family. And then he would so I actually saved a check stub. You've probably seen this in Amanda's channel if you already watched my story on her channel. But I saved this check stub because I actually felt really bad that my net pay was 0. You can't really see it in this live. But he basically took all my money so that I could claim kids, and then he called it child support on my check stubs, and then he would take the money from my tax returns too. But I didn't know any better. I just did what they said. It wasn't until I started dating, and then I had the guy I was dating, his grandma was telling me, you know, that's not normal, right? And like helping me like have a different perspective. But let's see. Fear and absolutely, yeah. I missed something. Do you respect someone you fear? I feel like respect is totally different. Totally different. All right, so let's see. When I left the order, I couldn't really read that good. Actually, I'm still can't read that good. But that's only because after 14, I didn't go to school. I just worked full time. And I actually remember a specific time. So we all know that Daniel went to prison for having his underage daughter marry his brother, like her uncle, right? And he got work release. And while he was on work release, I was actually being beat in his office while he has an ankle bracelet on. So, yeah, he didn't stop. And there's a lot of people there that are still being abused, but they're too loyal to ever speak up about it. But if they ever need a witness, a first-hand witness, just don't bring him to my house if you can help it. Yeah. But it will be worth it if we need to save someone. All right. So what other stories do I have? So watching him live this way really just made me realize that he was not a good guy. The way he handled his wives and the way he treated them. It's funny because he tells people, like he told a judge when he went to court, and they're like, "What do you do to support your children?" He tells them, "I gave him a sack of potatoes and whatever." And then he tells the order people that are in the group, "Oh, what I do is I make sure your mom has a job and a place to work or a place to live." Which then but in reality, what he does is he walks around with a God complex and doesn't really do anything for them. And the women work and pay for their own kids. So I don't know. I have nothing good to say about him. I really don't. Trying to think. If you guys have any questions, though, I can answer questions. The Bible, they say says this: there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love, whatever. I cannot. Okay. That's good. I don't know. Let's see. Chanel. So true. I have seen you say that before, and it's so true. Did you ever get a picture of your dad wrapped as a gift for Christmas? Yeah, I did. Yeah. I don't know what that even means, but yeah, we did. Everyone at a certain age, they just give you a portrait of your father so you can put it on your wall and worship it. It's very similar to the Kim Jong-un feel. Why do you even have Paul's picture on the wall? It's kind of creepy and weird. Willer, did you put it up? Where did I put it up? Okay. I don't think I did. I think I broke it. At the time, I didn't like him even more than I don't like him now. Did your mom have to call your dad so he can say happy birthday, or did your dad remember? Oh, okay. So, I was the 19th kid, so he still had ish time. He had a notebook, and he would show up. He'd basically look at his planner for birthdays, and he would show up to your house and pretend like he remembered. And then mom would give you a present that was from both of you, even though it was really from her. Fear is not respect. That is sad existence for Daniel, but one of his own making. Yeah, he did it. Maybe it's supposed to be the Order's version of Elf on a Shelf. I would have put it in the toilet and pissed. I just broke it. I don't know what happened to it after that. Yeah, but the thumbnail is him going to China making business deals with our money. Like he literally he took all my money that I was making. Anything that I wanted, I had to get permission. It took a lot to get the little money that I had that he didn't spend already before I left. Hey Amber, I'm wearing Amber's shirt today. I love it because it says create your own way or your own reality. Now I can't even remember it. Yes. Daniel didn't remember or care when his kids. Oh no, he didn't. Like even when he went to court, the judge had to finish just that one mom's list of kids because he couldn't name off his own children. He was growing pot plants with your money. Yeah, probably. Well, no. By the time he was growing pot plants, I was already out of the cult, so he wasn't. That was my money, but he was doing who knows what. Probably getting strippers. Now, did you know how old his youngest wife is? I actually went to, I wonder if she was the youngest. I went to one of the weddings when I was like 4 or something, and he was marrying. So let's see, if I was 4, he's like 33 years older than me. So he would have been 37, and this girl is like barely maybe 18. So like he's a 37-year-old marrying maybe 18. She might have been younger. But yeah, I went to a wedding. And I'm not sure if she's the youngest. I think she might be the youngest. But Joshua might know more. That's his older sister. Let's see. What a waste of pot plants. Oh yeah, they burned them and stuff. Okay. Is he still married to people? Yeah. That's one thing. Actually, this is kind of a funny story, and maybe why I have no energy to put harm on him, because even if anything bad happened to him, he has like 12 women that will wipe his ass if he gets sick, and they're gonna take care of him. And so what can you do? You can't win that. He's always got someone to just wipe his ass for him. Made it. What did I miss? Hey Todd, welcome. You didn't miss a lot. We're just ranting on my father and like what it was like watching him live that polygamy. It was basically he just had a God complex, and the order does that to these people. These guys, they whatever they say goes. You do what they say, and if you don't, you go to hell. So it's hard for them to be a good person because it's too easy to be a bad person, I guess. As a parent, I just can't wrap my head around doing anything that is not in my child's best interest. I am inspired by all of you who have decided that you want better for yourselves. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like, what? So let's see. For him, I think being a parent is just a numbers game. It's just like, how many slaves do I have? Let's see. How many will listen to me? If he leaves, the next one will listen to me. It's just a numbers game. He doesn't care if you leave. He'll just make 10 more. I just wonder if the order is running out of women. I don't think so. I would hope that the order is like starting to become more aware. And that's kind of what I want to do, is I want to put it out here so that I'm not trying to hurt the order. I'm really not. That's my family. Like there's a few people in charge that don't need to be in charge. Maybe just stop having the one above another, or even just, what is the man on the watchtower? What does that even fucking mean, dude? Like that is just a cult is what that means. They are considered breeding. Yeah. I can't imagine how Daniel's has. I think he has like a total of like 163. Do you remember him getting you a reason as why he was beating you in the moment. No, it depends on the beating. I got beat a lot. You was there a lot, so you know. But I remember one time you were threatening to call the cops. Chanel, I'm talking to Chanel right now. And so Chanel was threatening to call the cops because I was being beat, and I begged her not to. I was like, let me talk to him, and then whatever. So I begged her not to call the cops because I was afraid that we would be split up and never see each other ever again. Like the state would split us up. And so, yeah, I feel bad about that. But then I had a conversation with Daniel and I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to not, I don't want to have to say hi to you. I'm not going to kiss you after church. None of that. But he never really gave us a reason. It was always just like, but you knew, like, only because, so there was another thing. He just would, anything that would just trigger him, and he would just hit a child. Like we were saying family prayer, and a kid would move during prayer. They would just, like, because they're like 3. Okay, so with this 3-year-old, what he would do is he'd pick them up because they didn't hold still. He'd pick them up by their hair and smack them around for not holding still during prayer. And that's his child. And now you might understand why I'm good to not have that in my life. So those stories never cease to amaze me. They are considered breeding. Okay, let's see. I'm missing something. Yep, you're literally the only reason I didn't call the cops that day. I know. Ugh. I should have let you call the cops. I should have called his bluff too. He was like, I'll send you to military school. That would have been the best thing that ever. If I could have just got sent to military school and not been in the order, that would have been awesome. I don't think he would have ever let me do it though. I think it was just a bluff. John Daniel Kingston is number 15. So if you check on Amanda Ray's channel, you'll see on 15. Let's see, any other stories I can think of that aren't, maybe there's one that's not so triggering. I'll try to think, or not so abusive. Because every story I have of him is like, really the only interactions I had with him was a very abusive interaction. Most of the time, mom had to like pull me away to save me, or let's see. Or if he was nice, that was rare. But if he was nice, there was something he wanted. So I don't know. Okay, let's see. One more. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I might be done. Oh, I did get kicked out. Like looking back now, when I got kicked out of the order, it was simply because I tried to create a boundary where I wasn't going to just do whatever Daniel said. Like, because the boundary has to do with you, right? Not them. I don't care what he did. I just don't want him to tell me what to do. Or like, I'm not going to do what he tells me to do. So that got me kicked out of the order. Mom tried to hide it from us. Hide what from us? Oh, the number or what? We know he definitely had favorite wives, but did he have favorite kids and didn't beat them? I mean, I have a hard time believing that he didn't beat him. I actually seen Jessica's little brother be like kicked in the stomach as he was being beat by Daniel. And yeah, their house was worse because their mom didn't rescue him like our mom did. Oh man, let's see. Yeah. Are you other siblings like you and Chanel and Colleen? Shirley, yeah. Shirley's my mom. Let's see. That might be it. Any other questions? Mom consistently told us we were lucky to be part of Daniel's family. Oh, I think mom consistently told herself, like Shirley consistently told herself that she was lucky to be part of Daniel's family because that was part of the brainwashing they gave her because she was like one of the I think she took it to heart. Like she thought maybe they think the more they suffer, I don't know for sure. I could ask her this, but maybe they think the more that she suffered in this life, the better her next life would be in the celestial kingdom or whatever it was. Oh, I can't even with that. Like, so sad. Did Daniel ever get to try your cooking? Yeah. And he actually, so one of the times that he was being nice, oh, I forgot to tell you the only nice memory I have of him. There's one nice memory of him. And I should just, and I'll answer this question and I'll go back to that memory. Okay. So, yeah, he did try my cooking a lot. I cooked for everyone. So he definitely tried my cooking. And one time I made like a cake and it was good. And he was like, this is not a honey cake. You put sugar in it. I know you did. And then I was just like, oh my God. I didn't put sugar in it. But he thinks when he says something, it's true because he has the priesthood and it's straight from God. It's part of the God complex. But all right, I do have one good memory of Daniel growing up. And I think I was like a toddler and I didn't know he was my dad. And my room was the living room and he was working out. He was just doing like morning workouts, like just punching and whatever, push-ups and whatever. And I just, as a toddler, was copying him. And I think that fed his ego, so I didn't get beat that time. That was my only good story of Daniel. Did Daniel like your cooking? He accused me of putting sugar in it because it was too good to not have sugar in it. Like Judge Judy told them Green. Oh yeah, Tom Green was on Judge Judy. That was funny. And that's not God telling you, it's something lower. Yeah. Yep. The ego. That's all it is, Daniel. You're just letting your ego tell you. And you got to protect those kids. Yeah, you'll have to check it out. It's kind of funny. Like Judge Judy actually takes the time to talk to these wives and it's entertaining. I freaking love court shows. Let's see. Proud sinner here, not married, no kids. Yeah. I'm married, still sinning, no kids, just dogs. Honestly, you must have been really talented to make a cake that tastes good without sugar. What I did, this was my tactic because just honey cakes were kind of strong. So for example, if a recipe calls for a cup of sugar, you would only want to use 3/4 a cup of honey. And then I always like to do another sweetener of some kind, but typically I just blend up some fruit, like banana puree or something, and then I'd use like the banana and honey to sweeten the cake or some other fruit, and that made it pretty good. Recipes says no sugars. Question mark. What did Chanel ask? What was the first beating you watched Daniel give besides beating you? Besides beating me? I think it was Jessica's little brother, and that kid got beat. Like, that scared me. Or you, actually. You might have been the first one. When you came, like, told him when he was talking to you about him being our dad, and he beat you for that information, that might have been the first time. I don't know. At our house, yeah. No, he was beating Jessica and Andrea at their house. So don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for coming. I'm trying to think. We've went 35 minutes. Is there any other questions, or can I think of any other stories? Other than I just don't understand why everyone's just listening to the one above that's Daniel. Like, if Daniel was the one above, it's time to leave. Someone put him in a lower position, guys. He should be a servant of the Lord. He should go be a janitor in the house of the Lord, because it's better than being a king in any other kingdom, right, Daniel? Go be a janitor in the Lord's kingdom. And no one listen to him anymore. How did you not fall asleep during the order church? Oh my God, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, actually, Chanel just pointed out something really. Apparently, the church views Daniel as a joke, and I think that's because we brought awareness, like Chanel and Jessica and Andrea, and that show has caused a lot of people to see Daniel in a new light, and that's good. There's progress in the order in our family. Once again, I'm not trying to hurt the order, but y'all are having some weird beliefs. Let's get educated, guys. Get your feelings out. Thanks, Mary. What's Daniel's horoscope sign? Oh, he is a Taurus. Yeah, stubborn as hell. That God complex is not going anywhere. Oh, and his birthday is like right around Mother's Day. So he makes Mother's Day about him too. He's really narcissistic. I really don't like using that word. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. Even Mother's Day has to be about Daniel. May 13th. I think was May 13th that his birthday is. Chanel could confirm that. I think that's when it is. People seeing Daniel for who he really is absolutely because y'all are brave, strong enough to speak out about the truth. Yeah, I totally credit Chanel and Andrea and Jessica for that, because I was quiet for years. I needed to do my healing first before I could speak out against these things. And I'm glad I did. Honestly, I'm a better person for it. What day in April or May? It's May 13th is Daniel's birthday, I believe. And he's, God, how old am I? I forgot how old I am, so I don't know how old he is. How do you recall Paul? Oh, Paul. Oh my gosh, why'd you bring up Paul? Just kidding. Now I have to say something that order people can get mad at. Okay, so there was meetings we had with Paul. There was so many times that mom was trying to be treated fairly. And we had meetings with Paul about how Daniel was treating me or her. I remember a meeting specifically where Paul was telling me, because I was talking about maybe bringing authorities into the issue, and Paul told me that we order members don't prosecute other order members, and that he would take care of it, and that he would take care of Daniel for us, basically. And I don't want to say much more, because order people, I want you to just wake up. What I said right there, is true. So just keep getting educated. Keep on coming by. Watch some more videos. Because he was brought into him with whole Daniel bullshit, and he didn't see anything change. Yeah. Even after those meetings with Paul, nothing changed. Daniel was Stubborn as hell, fucking Taurus. Sorry for bashing on a Taurus sign. I'm Scorpio, I'm stubborn too. We don't call the police on other order brothers and sisters. Right. Yeah, that was the reasoning. Until they want me out, then they call the cops on me for trespassing on my own property. When's your birthday, Val? November 3rd. Oh my gosh, I've been testing some products. I am so excited to show you guys some stuff. A few of you showed interest in Kathy's soap. I'm gonna try to get her soaps up on a site so she can sell them. Let's see. When's your okay? Paul played part though, pretending that everything would be good and he could help, and really nothing happened. Right. Yeah, nothing changed. I think Paul thought he could yell at Daniel and make him change, or he thought he could just brainwash us to keep being slaves, because you're really just what is that memory, Jim? It says, "It is my firm resolve and fixed purpose to give my all to the Lord, my time, my talents, all that I am or ever expect to be." Like, you're just going to give everything, your whole being. It doesn't matter. You're 10%, all your money and your body and everything is all for God. And it's not God, but yeah, it's Daniel or Paul or whatever, the one above. Yuck. The only reason I remember that memory, Jim, is because they made us say it twice a day our whole lives. Not using your power for good is just as bad as using it for evil. Yeah. Yeah. So, Paul, if you're listening, remember, you not doing something good is just as bad as doing something bad. So get better. And yeah. What birth order is Paul? Huh. How do I not know that? I know he's younger than Daniel. Daniel's older, and then I think Paul's after that. But if Daniel was the leader of the group, nobody would stay. That group would have evaporated years ago. At least Paul could pretend to be nice for a day, long enough to keep a member around. Hi, Hope Star. I'm on the. Let's see. Hold on. She's on the cusp, so she's Scorpio Sagittarius, I think is what she's saying. My mom is Taurus. I always say you get the horns. My daughter is the Aries, very stubborn. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Amanda's ex-husband, and we're like family, right? So her ex-husband and I, there was one time that Aunt Kathy we were fighting, and Aunt Kathy put us in a chair and told us that we had to shake hands and then we could get out. We could get out of the chair and go play with everyone else. We sat there for 5 hours and would not shake hands. We were both so stubborn. He's a Taurus as well. Ruth. Oh, wow. Amanda knows the order of this family. It goes Ruth, Joe, Daniel, then Paul, or Jesse is older. I can't remember. Paul has... Yeah. I wonder if he's going to really make the 3 kids be in charge, because that would actually be a better system, because then maybe one corrupt person wouldn't be in charge. And if you have multiple opinions, maybe not his kids, they should get 3 other people be in charge. And so that not one person is the man on the watchtower, the brainwashing person. Okay. I think we've gone for 45 minutes and I'm just ranting and ranting about my dad. So any last questions before we go? Paul married a girl younger than what I am. And Chanel's asking if I remember that. And I do. Yeah, actually. think it was David's girl. So it would be like his niece or something. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anytime one person has all the power, it's going to be bad news. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Lisa. It has been a beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, Shay. I was worried this rant was just going to go bad because I don't have anything good to say about him. Thank you, guys. I will talk to you next week. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.